When we talk about getting connected or connecting with our audience, all too often we focus on our bandwidth, our internet connection, or the specs on our computer. But connecting with your audience is about so much more. Hello. Hey, Rabbi David. Sorry about that. Hey, Rabbi David here, your Torah tech guy, and welcome to... No, be quiet. Now my phone is talking to me. Sorry about that. Welcome to Torah Tech Tips, where I strive to give you great tech for your great Torah. So I wanted to talk today about connecting with your audience. There are a lot of things that we can do that are not technical that can help us really make a connection with our congregants, with our students, with the people that we're serving when we share our Torah. And I want to talk about a few of them. The first one we've talked about before, and that is eye contact. I've spent a lot of time over the past few months watching services online. And I'm going to be sharing some feedback from some of those today. Maybe I should do a review of one. I feel guilty. I don't want to make anyone feel bad. But one of the things I notice is that many times the leaders, the rabbis, the cantors, have their noses in their books. Now, when we're leading in a sanctuary, I get it. That right, we're davening out of our books. Leading services or teaching digitally is a different experience altogether. And making eye contact with your audience is so important. It lets them know that you see them, even if you might not physically see them. So I want to encourage you to think about ways in your streams, in your services, your classes, where you can really make sure to look into the camera. It can seem odd, unless you're using a teleprompter setup or something like that, it can seem odd to stare at the lens of a camera, especially when your congregants or your students are maybe down here on your screen. But make sure that at least every once in a while, you're taking your eye off your screen and you're looking at the people that you're speaking to. That is to say, through the lens of your camera. So the first is eye contact. The second is bring your humanity. Streaming services, streaming spirituality does not need to be perfect. It needs to be honest. It needs to be authentic. And so while we should spend a lot of time creating the best experiences that we can, let's not forget to bring our humanity. Let's not forget to ourselves daven, to ourselves learn. That aura that we give off when we ourselves are experiencing the joy, experiencing the sadness, experiencing the wondering, the questioning, the whatever it is that's going on, when we ourselves are experiencing that and allow ourselves to show that, allow ourselves to give a little bit of our humanity over to those people that are watching with us, then it reminds them that we're not just a face in a box, that we're actually with them, that we are sharing this experience together. So bring your humanity, laugh at yourself. It's okay to make mistakes. If you're able to, get into it. I have often found myself when I'm leading services that I'll start a tefillah, I'll be jamming away, singing and everything, and my eyes will end up being closed and I'll be lost in it, and by the time the tefillah is done, I'm way over here. That's okay. That shows that you're really davening, that you're really in the experience. Number 3, remember your audience. Remember that you have people there. Get lost in your davening, but always come back to the fact that you are a leader. You are presenting to students, to congregants, to friends, to family, to whomever it is. And don't ever forget about the people that are watching and that are davening, that are learning along with you. it's important that this balancing act between allowing yourself to bring your full humanity, to get lost in whatever it is that you're doing, and also remember the experience that your participants are having. This is not unlike the way we have to act and behave when we're leading services in the sanctuary or teaching classes in the Beit Midrash or the library, whatever it is, right? There is the my experience and the experience of my participants, and that balance is ever more important in a digital world. Okay, these things. What do you do with these things? How do you help people stay connected with these things? Well, use them, right? I talk with my hands a lot. I learned something just yesterday that I thought was really, really helpful. And that is to find a home base for your hands. So in the video that I was watching, he suggested that you grab onto take your dominant hand, you grab onto your finger, and you just kind of rest it at your belly button. That's your home base. So when you're talking, your hands are moving around, and then you can bring them back to this home base. Here's what's important. What's important to remember is if you're banging on your table that holds your camera, or you're knocking on your microphone, that's going to be distracting. That's not going to help you connect with your audience. That's going to distract you from your audience, or distract your audience rather from you. So make sure that you're aware of how your hands, how your physical body is helping to engage your audience and bring your audience into the experience. And that leads me to the next tip, which is use your body. Use your body. It is so frustrating for me to watch services being led and seeing the rabbi and the cantor, the shlich tzibur, whoever's leading, they look bored. If they look bored, I'm going to look bored. I'm going to be bored as a participant. We as leaders need to show some passion. We need to be able to move. We need to be willing to move. Make sure that your setup is such that if you're playing guitar, you can bounce around, you can move around. If you're just leading, that you can use your body to engage people. Just like with your hands, maybe have a home base, right? I actually have a mat on the floor, one of those, the mats you put in front of the kitchen sink so that it's a little more comfortable. I have one of those. That's my home base. I always know that I need to come back to this spot, but I can move around. I can really engage with people using my whole body, coming back to that home base. Last thing, talk to your audience. No, let me change that. Talk with your audience. Even on Zoom, when we have all learned to love the mute button, it's so important for the voices of our participants to be a part of the service or the class that we're leading. Whether that's auditorily, whether that's actually unmuting them in Zoom, or whether it's through chat in Facebook or YouTube. Bring those comments in, listen to your audience, your participants, and read those comments out loud if you want. Share them. Say people's names so that they know that you know that they're there and that you care that they're there. The divide that the digital world creates for us is not that we can't see and hear one another. It's that, it's hard for us to know if anyone realizes that we're there. And if anyone cares, let your audience know that you care that they're there by name, by sharing their thoughts, their words, what you hear from them or what you see from them in the chat, sharing that in your broadcast, in your service. If it's names from Mishaberach, say those names out loud. If you ask a question, in fact, this is a great thing to do. Ask a question and invite people to put their responses, put their thoughts, put their feelings in the chat, and then share that out loud so that they are a part of the experience and helping everyone get connected. So just a few ideas to help you connect with your audience. I have lots of ideas, lots of resources available for you over on my website, TorahTechGuy.com. Please like this video, subscribe on YouTube, follow me on Facebook, share with your friends. I'm doing all of this because I want to help you with the best tips and the best tech for your best Torah. I hope you have a wonderful day. And I'll see you next time on Torah Tech Tips.